Hello guys, welcome back to Adventures of WellUmMe, and today I have a game. I've briefly spoken about this in the previous Game of Day video, but it is Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, and I also have with me the remastered version. If you wait right there, and with the magic of cuts, I also have Ni no Kuni here. That's the DS version. And then the cool part, I have this book, which is the Japanese with its companion, which came with this. And then I've got this one, which is the English companion, which came with this. So I actually really love it. I've got both the Japanese and English versions of these books. I think they look absolutely awesome on the shelf. The funny thing is, it kind of reminds me of two things. One, it reminds me of like the really fancy older encyclopedias or atlases that you might have on the shelf that have like really nice thick binding. It reminds me of that. It also reminds me of like hymn books or Bibles that we had at church. Just with like having like a golden kind of colour on them, and just the way that it's bound as well. Yeah, but I love these books. They are a great addition to have when you're playing the game, because it is in the game, like in the options menu, like the bestiary and all that, and all the info and information that comes in the game is just a digital version of this. So this is the physical printout, and I think that this is one of those really cool things to have. And some of the quests in the game require you look through the manual to find like the certain rune that you have to use in relation to completing a quest. Whoa, that's really blurry. Autofocus, come on, focus on me. And you actually just look them up in here as well, because it might just tell you you need a certain thing that will do a certain aspect to it, because there's like little descriptions in here, such as if you're to do pulse, it says it unleashes a wave of pure energy upon your enemies. The spell also allows the caster to unleash a powerful shockwave that will flatten anything in its path. Though as a weapon first and foremost, pulse is surprisingly versatile and can be used to give distant objects a nudge, and for any number of other purposes besides. Note that it is best to calm one's mind before casting the spell, and excessive anger produces an unpleasant recoil effect. So, you know, at some point you might need to use a spell that requires you to push something, like a telekinetic blast, and you need to draw this rune and use that rune and that spell, and you can look it up in here to find the information that that's what it's referring to, and you go, oh, I need to use pulse. So that was one of the cool things, having the physical copy of that, and actually use this in the game when I needed to get the script to translate, which I thought was awesome. And it's cool having like that version there, and then when you go into the Japanese version, you've got that version with in comparison with the characters as well. So I think that's like pretty cool, because it's 2 pages in the Japanese one and the single page here that you're looking at in the English one, because we've only got the 26 letters of the alphabet, and this is like 2 letters that are combined, and then you've got the numbers as well. So there's that there, and then on this one there's obviously more characters that they have to cover in the Japanese writings here. So I thought that was really interesting as part of the game. Now I played through the Wrath of the White Witch on the PlayStation 3, and this is one of those awesome games with awesome art by Level 5 and Studio Ghibli. And like, look at this artwork, this black and white just backdrop in the case looks amazing. You can probably tell, it's like the fact that I'm not even breathing properly, I'm just speaking. I love Ni no Kuni. It has been one of my absolute all-time favourite games. I'm a massive fan of Studio Ghibli, and like as of like today, the day I'm recording, found that they put some of the Studio Ghibli movies onto Netflix. I hadn't watched these ones in a while, and it's the ones that I don't own, like Porco Rosso on Netflix, and I don't actually have a copy of that one. It's one that's on my list to buy, but I've never actually purchased it, so I sat and watched that today. It was great. So the fact that Studio Ghibli were involved in the artwork and creation of some of the parts of this game, like, just was an absolute dream come true for me. In fact, Porco Rosso was the first movie I ever saw from Studio Ghibli, and it was back on SBS back in the day. I think my dad randomly watched it at one point, and then it was just played again and told me that I might like it, and watched that. And yeah, and then just had to borrow all the different ones from the library, and my mum used to get the cat returns and things like that when they had it. And I just loved watching these movies as a kid. And I love watching them as an adult as well. It's one of those things that I don't think I'll ever get tired of. They're just such magical movies, and that magical aspect with the music and the storytelling and the artwork was put into this game, and that is just what I loved about it. It's just everything that I loved with those movies was put back into these games. And the cool thing was there's the DS version of it, which is a bit different, because the like Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch was kind of like a remaster of the DS game, because there's a bit of difference between them just because of the way that things work on the DS. And like looking at this, because I haven't played the one on the DS, because it's well, one is not in English, but two, I had the PlayStation 3 one that I played through, and yeah, so like looking at it and looking at the pictures here, I do have to sit down and play it at some point. I get out like the translator and read these instructions properly in there. There's the ones that you can scan, and plus I've been trying to learn a little bit of Japanese, or extend my knowledge of the Japanese language, because I learned a bit of like oral language when I went to Japan, but then reading text and all that obviously takes a lot more effort when you're teaching yourself at your own pace with tools that you can get. It does make it a little bit harder, but practice that for a bit. I need to pick it up again, because I kind of stopped that for a bit, but I could use a game to teach myself a bit more by practicing that way. But yeah, this looks like more like a DS Pokemon type game, the way it's set up. I know it's not like that, but yeah, I've got that to play at some point, because I think I'd love to play like the original version of it. And then there was Wrath of the White Witch on the PlayStation 3, and then there's Wrath of the White Witch remastered on the PlayStation 4, which puts it into high resolution, and also has, I think it goes up to 60 frames per second, as opposed to on the PlayStation 3. That one was only 720p, and this one goes up to 1080p. So, you know, like that evolution of the game, it just, I love the franchise, and I love the, like, you can tell I've had to buy like a copy of all the different ones available, and then I've said before, like I've got the stuff from Ni no Kuni 2. I think like my favourite thing about Ni no Kuni 2, which I don't remember if I got this down when I was looking at it, but like this pop-up artwork for the record is amazing, and then inside you've got the record here, which has beautiful artwork of Ding Dong Dell, and then on the back there it's got the runes for the different beasts there. But like it's amazing. I remember when I got this, it was like I don't even want to play the record at any point just because it's so beautiful. Like, that's the thing, like, this game, it's one of those games that I was just absolutely happy to spend the money on the collector's editions and all that. And I touched on that previously when I was talking about Ni no Kuni 2. But it is such a magical franchise to me. And I just hope that they have more. And I hope that if they release Ni no Kuni 3, that it is a little bit more like Ni no Kuni 1 with the gameplay style. And yeah, just the charm. And I hope that Studio Ghibli can come back on board, because that would be amazing. Yeah. Breathe. It's an amazing game. I highly recommend it. If you get it on the PS3, get it on the PS3. If you get the remaster on the PlayStation 4, get it on the PS4. You could also get it on the Nintendo Switch. Don't know if it came out on Xbox. I'm assuming it did. Of course, you know, I didn't actually look at that. I just saw it was coming out and went, PlayStation 4, getting that. I think Claire, my sister-in-law, she got it on the Switch. Because she borrowed the game from me originally. But we both absolutely love it. And hopefully the franchise does continue. Wasn't as much of a fan of the movie. I think I said that as well last time. But yeah, like I said, I've got a lot of stuff, and and again, like the collector's edition books are just amazing. I've even got Mr. Drippy somewhere. Mr. Drippy, where are you? I think I have him in the study. It came with a little plush toy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. I just rambled so much then, and I just realised I'm actually short of breath from rambling so much. I need to learn how to breathe properly while speaking and presenting. I'm really passionate about this game, this franchise, so I get really, really excited when I talk about it, and can let other people experience or share my passion for it. So that's kind of why I got a bit carried away with that. But yeah, have a great one, guys, and I'll catch you next time.